Hello YouTube and welcome to GrunfWorks. This is episode 77 of the Interplanetary Voyage of Exploration, and in previous episode we have been playing with some Jool system science, and also we have been designing and attempting to launch testing the Duna aeroponics. So now we are coming to the time where we actually need to launch the Jool recycler. So this is a standard rocket and this is pretty much a standard launch. First stage booster separation, and we are hurling towards the orbit. So our apoapsis is reaching 45. I think I'm gonna cut it at around 100 roughly. So as soon as we reach an apoapsis of around 100, I'm gonna cut the engines and let us set up a maneuver node to be able. We just have to be careful not to rendezvous with the space station. Popping the fairings, and as you can see, this is a pretty hefty ship, but I really like that it is using a little bit futuristic propulsion, at least for the interplanetary burns. Of course, that will mean that our interplanetary burns will be painfully slow, but then again, given the novelty, this is the price I am willing to pay. So, burning for the circularization, pretty much standard launch, nothing really special here. And here we go, 113 by 98. Not ideal, but let me see if I can fix it up a little bit. I also need to set up the transfer maneuver node, and I'm here using the data that I've gotten from my transfer window calculator to input, and hopefully then fiddle a little bit around it to get an encounter with Jool. Perfect. Flipping a little bit. By the way, guys, sorry I'm doing this at a little bit time acceleration because I'm expecting the burns here will be painfully slow, and you have already seen me doing setting up, I guess, the rendezvous, so it's nothing really new here, but I still figured you might want to see, how are we getting to it, and maybe for some newer viewers, although I would suggest to start from the beginning of the series. Still, if you just tuned in, you're more than welcome to actually check how we do it. So while we're still in orbit, we are setting up targets for our antennas, because once we actually go out of reach of our communitrons, we will encounter problems if we didn't activate our long-range antennas, because we will run out of signal and we'll end up with basically a ship that is a dead brick and a failed launch and wasted money of the Kerbal taxpayers. Anyway, 2122, and I'm just decided to burn a little bit the rest of our bottom stage, and now I'm just thrusting using the near future propulsion. So I'm using nuclear reactor and 12 total of the small NFT engines. So this is, I guess, the pretty much similar engines they were, I think, using in Martian ion drive. So I wouldn't know. I didn't see the movie yet, but yeah, it's on the list. I'll view it soon enough. Anyway, 1800 delta V2 burn, and our estimated burn is 32 minutes, which is way too long to be executed in a single burn. So I will do, as in my previous launches, I'll do some, I think it's called periapsis pushing. So I will do a couple of orbits and every time burn at exact same point, so that we don't mess up our maneuver, hopefully. So, and I'm thinking a good estimate is maybe 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after, and I'm hoping to get our transfer within, let's say, 2 or 3 burning orbits. I will be recalculating my maneuver node every time when I'm doing so, just to have a rough idea how much do we need to remain burning. So I'm sorry if I'm a little bit recalculating all over again, but yeah, I think it's pretty much necessary just to make sure that we are on the ball. Okay, focus on Jool, and here I don't think we need to be like, you know, pin sharp accurate, but still I think it's only fitting that we give this the same amount of love and dedication that we give to all of our launches. And so yeah, I think this maneuver node looks good enough, so let us make another pass. And it's total 30 minutes, so around 5 minutes I'm starting the burn, kicking the engines, and now, so by the way, while we are burning, I'm using the 4x physics acceleration, because I mean, come on, 30 minutes burn, I would probably go nuts if I was doing that in real time. So I think I'm doing that at 4x acceleration in the game, plus I think 4 or 5 times, so roughly, I mean, 20 times time acceleration altogether. Another periapsis is pushing, 5 more minutes to end of this burn, and I'm thinking that probably in the next orbit we will be passing and going into the interplanetary space. So yep. Oops, and I guess we are going in the interplanetary space now, which means there won't be another orbit where we will be pushing. So I think I a little bit overestimated my thrust to weight. Okay, then let's do it the Kerbal style. Just burn and see where we end up with. I'm now just monitoring our apoapsis as it rises up, and then I guess when we actually get out of the Kerbal sphere of influence, we will be continuing to make a small correction and hopefully get a very nice Jool encounter. So, and as you saw guys in the previous episode, we were fiddling a little bit with the Duna aeroponics module, a second module, if you think from that perspective, which we will be attaching to our exploration core ship, and hopefully in the attempt to make Duna space station self-sufficient. Clearly we need some more engineering parts and we need Kerbals to actually run it, but I think getting everything there so that we can just, when we get our crew, perform the rendezvous and basically just connect the dots, I think it's the best approach, rather than just wasting our food supplies and doing everything with our Kerbals being present. Alright, continuing our burn. I have now killed the maneuver node because it's no longer valid given the fact that we are already getting out of the Kerbal sphere of influence. So, I mean, yeah, the burn is pretty painfully slow, but I'm just now adding another maneuver node, which is at the descending node, just to make sure that I want to just get a rough estimate, I guess. How much is it left to fix? Okay. I think we've burned enough from this node, and let us now just see how can we improve our... Oh, and yeah, radial. Definitely we need to invest some love there. Okay, a little bit less. Okay, well, the good thing about this type of craft is that we have ample amounts of delta V, so that we don't really need to think, or, you know, in terms of how to save our delta V, and it is going on a one-way trip. Once it gets to the Jool system, it will attach itself to one of the exploration core ships and hopefully be a first stepping stone before we actually get a fully self-sufficient base around, or space station around Lathe, I guess. Beautiful view as we are leaving Kerbin and Moon behind. And my Kerbal alarm clock decided to go a little bit mental on me. But yeah, we can live with that. So, okay, come on, getting out of the Kerbin sphere of influence, and then we have 1 day to maneuver node, and our burn will be 25 minutes. So I guess I will burn roughly 12.5 minutes before and 12.5 minutes after, just to make sure that we execute the maneuver correctly. Perfect. Burn. Now that we are... What? Engine failure. Which one? Ah, that one. Oh dear. Okay, I'm at least hoping... Oh, come on. Mute the alarm. Perfect. Okay, and it seems so that our SAS, which we have, I hope, at least some authority, is good enough to maintain us on the right heading, although now our thrust is not 100% symmetrical. Dang it, our friend hits again. And as you see, guys, I mean, it can happen, this with dang it, since we don't have Kerbals on board, we cannot fix the engine, but we can at least disable the engine and mute the alarm, I guess, and then just continue thrusting with the remaining 12 engines. And that's one of the points when you're playing with dang it. Dang it introduces random failures, and if you build with redundancy as we did with these 12 engines, then you can compensate a little bit. So the whole point of dang it is either to learn your Kerbals to be good mechanics, or to learn how to engineer a redundant design. So I guess yeah, redundancy is very important, especially on the longer interplanetary missions, because you have nobody to fix stuff, and usually there isn't such an easy solution in terms of how to fix things. Okay, 403 meters per second burn, 7 more minutes, and with this time acceleration I think it will take a little bit more, and then we should hopefully have a nice Jool encounter. Okay, yeah. Oh, by the way, we do have some encounter. Oh, and that's a Jool encounter. Oh, righty then. Let's see. Can we improve it? What can we do to improve it? So we didn't need to burn that much more. Oh, or we did. 500 meters per second. Yeah, we do need to burn some more. Okay. Node execute, and since we are playing with signal delay, now we are already a little bit out of the Kerbin sphere of influence, so our signal delay is 2 seconds. By the way, the signal delay will become much more of a factor once we reach Jool system. It will be, I think, around 3 minutes roughly. So all our maneuver nodes we have to plan in advance. 3 minutes signal delay, so until our commands actually reach the ship, plus additional maneuver node burn time, so roughly, depending on, I guess, orbits and everything. But yeah, we have to factor in those 3 minutes in our burns. Okay, beautifully aligning our Jool encounter. I mean, what I like about Jool is that since it is its own system, it's basically a representation of Jupiter in our solar system. It has its moon, so its sphere of influence is actually very big, so it's not really hard to hit. Perfect. Toggling SAS, and wonderful. Okay, so the next thing to happen is our Nuke probe 2 will have a change in terms of sphere of influence. And yeah, we can also, so we have 9 days, I guess we can do one more launch. So let us try and launch our station, the Duna Aeroponics one, the one that we have improved in the previous release. And we have blast off, and oh boy, my rocket is already tilting at launch. This doesn't look good. At least we don't have Kerbals on board. Whoa. Take it easy. No. Oh man. Come on, flip. Okay, we're still stable. And we are not still stable. Ooh. Actually, I think when I was... Oh boy. Okay, this is not gonna end well. I guess I made a mistake during the engineering phase or during the construction. I have messed up my staging, and I think I didn't connect the last fuel lines. So, okay, at least we can test the nuclear engine and get a little bit away from the KSC, because nuclear engine, yeah, we don't want the radiation to basically kick our Kerbals, and if it lands in the water it will be buried by various layers of sea, I guess. Not my proudest moment, but what can you do? And bam. A Kerbal ending to a Kerbal design. Moving on. At least we have our Jool Nuke probe, which I believe is already within Kerbin's sphere of influence, and this is not Jool Nuke probe 2, but we had an alarm during one of our previous launches, so I believe this is Jool Nuke probe 1. And the purpose of this one is to actually come down low over Jool. So we will be actually almost entering the Jool's atmosphere. So we're just now sending some more science. Oh no, sorry, this is Jool Nuke probe 2. Oh yeah, we're actually exiting the sphere of influence, so I do want to make a sphere of influence change, just not to mess up our Kerbin encounter. So yes, that's actually the case. And yeah, our Jool Nuke probe 1's actually maneuver node will happen in 4 days. Okay, let's first get this one out of the system. And come on. I believe a few more seconds. And yes, we do have a Kerbin encounter. Great. Okay, so this probe will be returning home, bringing lots and lots of science, which we will use to research and unlock new tech nodes and create more interesting and advanced futuristic designs. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing to happen is the Jool Nuke probe 1. So let's get to that one. Perfect, and our focus is on pole. Okay, now we have our maneuver node lower pole, so we just want to make sure that we will be executing our maneuver node, which will happen in 4 days. So let us take the time to actually just align ourselves correctly with the maneuver node. And let us appreciate and enjoy coming to the Julian system. Jool, it looks really beautiful when you're closing in on its sphere of influence, or not sphere of influence, but when you're closing in on it. Everything is so green. And there's lathe. Hi, lathe. Okay, we have some more sweet science. Space high over Jool. I want a space low over Jool, so we'll see when our science alert, and here we go. Perfect. Gravity scan, magnetometer, materials, mystery ego. Now I'm just hitting all the possible experiments that I can. As long as we are low over Jool, we want to know as much as we can about Jool, its atmosphere, and all of the parameters, what it is made of, and also the fact that we are now low in the orbit around Jool means that we will be able to do some test launches. Entering low over Jool, and our maneuver node will be in 2 minutes. Perfect. And we will have the signal connection during the whole time. Oh, this is beautiful. This was unexpected. It actually happens quite rarely when you're playing with remote tech that you have a direct connection, but I guess Kerbin is directly above us, so might as well enjoy it. Performing the burn, and we have changed sphere of influence as camera indicates. Great! I think we have been successfully captured around Jool. So actually, let us close the... Well, let's first review the science. What have we collected? And send... So let's send the ones that we get 100% returns on. The other ones we will have to be patient and retrieve when we go back home to Kerbin. Perfect. And at this apoapsis, I will see if we manage to get encounter with one of the inner planets or outer planets. I don't really care which one actually. Seems that we do. Okay, and that's supposed to happen in 37 days, our maneuver node. Wonderful. Okay guys, so and it's gonna be Val. Awesome, we haven't yet visited Val, so I guess we will be able to get some science out of the Val. Sorry, not well, Val. Okay. Perfect, just fiddling a little bit, making the maneuver node to make sure that we get very close to Val. And by the way guys, I think I'm gonna call it for this episode here. I'm gonna cut it here. Like if you like the video, and press subscribe. Oh, and button for more KSP content. And let us just quickly unlock some more science. Advanced multi-personnel spaceflight, which we wanted. Perfect. And this will be the next thing to research because we want the command seat. Okay, but that will be in some of the future episodes. Until then, thank you very much for watching. This is GrunfWorks signing off.